As many of you know, before coming to Mountain View in Howard County in 2015, I proudly taught in the Baltimore County Public Schools for 19 years, the last 14 of them at Cockeysville Middle School. On February 1st, 2008, the Cockeysville community was devastated by the loss of 4 members of the Browning family. You may very well remember hearing about it in the news. 13-year-old Gregory Browning, a member of our 8th grade percussion section. 11-year-old Benjamin Browning, a member of our 6th grade percussion section. And their parents, John and Tammy Browning, all tragically lost their lives, shot to death in their sleep by the oldest Browning child, 15-year-old Nicholas. As you can imagine, this tragedy impacted every member of the community, every single person in the school, most especially the band students, as both Gregory and Benjamin played the band. Following Monday morning, the band students approached me about coming up with an idea to memorialize and celebrate the Brownings, and thus what we called the Browning Project was formed. Many of you have no doubt noticed the poster for it in my room if you've ever been in there. It involved commissioning a brand new piece of music in honor of the family. And when I thought about which composer to reach out to, the only name that I ever considered was Brian Balmages. Besides the fact that Mr. Balmages was, and still is, a very gifted composer, he had strong ties to the community as he lived just down the street, and he even attended Delaney High School, which is the same high school where the Brownings would have attended. Once the piece was written, we planned a massive benefit concert, which was held in April 2009, in which all of the ensembles at Cockeysville Middle School, along with one of the ensembles from Delaney High School, performed. And the finale of the concert was the world premiere of our new commission, which was entitled Kindred Spirits. It was performed by the 7th and 9th grade band members at the time, as those were Greg's and Ben's classes. The money went into a scholarship fund, and now every May, I return to Delaney High School and I award a Browning Scholarship to a worthy band student. The community came together in a huge way, and we all helped each other through the healing process. And now about the piece itself. Before Brian wrote a single note, he came to Cockeysville to talk to me and my students. He asked every student in the band to write down one memory they had of Greg, Ben, or their parents. Some wrote funny memories. Some wrote sad, emotional memories. Brian then took them and he read the notes and he incorporated every single one of them into the music. So as we play the piece, you'll hear moments of joy, moments of sorrow, moments of reflection, moments of triumph, moments of confusion, moments of healing. The piece begins with the marimba playing a steady F, which represents the strong and steady lifeline of the Brownings. You'll then hear numerous brief outbursts in the piano. These outbursts are reminiscent of both Greg and Ben, who were able to make anyone laugh at the drop of a hat. After the piece builds into its first dramatic climax, it then moves into the most desolate section of the piece, where you'll once again hear the marimba, but you'll also hear the bass drum representing a heartbeat. Next, you'll hear a series of very simple chords played by the clarinets, flutes, and alto saxes. In between each set of chords, you'll hear a single chime ring out 4 times in total, 1 for each member of the family who lost their life. All of the chords are bound by that same F played by the marimba because this single note remains present throughout the section to help keep all the elements of the music together, a metaphor, if you will, to illustrate the unbroken bonds of the family. After this section, the music grows more dissonant and intense, as does the feeling of unrest, confusion, and anxiety. This continues to build until finally giving way to the biggest and most triumphant climax of the piece, echoing the positive sentiments of the beginning, but on a much grander scale. The final section is peaceful and tranquil, much like the opening. The band is asked to sing at the end, as you'll hear, and this represents the angels. While there are a few more woodwind solos at the end, the music concludes with one final piano outburst that carries both great joy and sorrow, and then the final note simply dissolves into nothing. This school year marks the 10-year anniversary of the loss of the Brownings and the premiere of Kindred Spirits, and I really felt compelled to honor the family by performing it, while at the same time exposing these incredible young musicians to a truly masterful piece of band music. I'm also so happy and honored to welcome back a handful of my former Cockeysville band students who are joining us in the performance tonight to honor the memory of their friends, Greg and Ben, as well. And I know several others from Cockeysville are here in the audience, so I personally want to thank you for coming to be here with us tonight. So thank you for your attention, and we sincerely hope you enjoy this very special piece of music.